Hello, hello, hello again. So this morning the plan is to do a video on my vintage Chanel earrings collection. And what I have, these are all of my vintage Chanel earrings. I know when I put them all in one container, I'm like, wait a minute, I thought I had more than this. But I do have quite a number of ones that aren't vintage. And for me, I'm saying anything from the 90s and back. I believe technically once, at least in the luxury community, once earrings or whatever jewelry are 20 years or more old, it's considered vintage. I ain't at a headspace yet where I can consider something made in 2001 vintage. So, so I'm going to leave it at the 90s, 80s, and earlier. So I have my collection I have it set up by era and by Hallmark. So it's the oldest to the newest. So these would be the 90s and the 80s and 70s and before. I don't even know if I have anything before the 70s, but so I have it set up that way. And then I have them by Hallmark type. So, we're familiar with date codes. So there's date codes here. But then before the traditional date codes, Chanel just used numbers or just their name or other hallmarks. So I have them grouped that way too. So, I planned on starting this way, but maybe I'll just go the way I plan to go. So this is my first beauty. And I picked these up from a local consignment store called Panache on H. Got these, I want to say 4 or 5 years ago. Maybe not quite that far, 3 or 4. But these are the ones, if you've seen my, on Instagram, I think I posted it. Maybe it's a reel. These are the ones that broke. They broke on me. One fell off my ear and hit the ground, and this became detached. And I don't know if it was this one or that one, but this broke off. And so I sent it over to a shop that specializes in repairing Chanel bags, but also Chanel jewelry and antique jewelry in general. And she fixed it for me. I think this is the one that because you see that there, it's been soldered back together. And in addition to that, she also said, hey, if you'd like, we can electroplate it with the 24 karat gold again. And so I'm like, really? And it wasn't, there was a cost to it, but I want to say it was like $100. And for it to have the same, sort of luster again, I liked it. So let's see here. This is what it looks like. And then this is the hallmark for this time period. And oops. Let me see if it'll be easier just to keep it on a steady surface so you can see it. It's not gonna. There we go. So if you can see that, do you see how it has Chanel and then the C and the R, and then I believe there's the CC in the middle, and then at the very bottom it says, oops, made in France. Hopefully that comes through. Made in France. Alrighty. And so let me zoom back out. Here we go. So that's my first set. And I want to say these were early 80s, mid 80s. Could even be 70s. But if I remember my Chanel history right, I don't think they used the CC this until the 80s. like, you know, putting it on jewelry and what have you, but I could be wrong. So that's definitely something you want to check out on your own. Now, if you could tell, do you see this CC attached? Well, then these are basically the same earrings except without this. So I found these, I think this was on Fashion File, but do you see it's the same hallmark, the Chanel. This is gonna, there we go. This has Chanel, and then the C and the R at the top for, I believe, copyright, all rights reserved, something like that. The CC in the middle, and then made in France. So if I'm feeling, you know, more bold, I'll wear these, but I like these as like, you know, an everyday sort of earring. So, and I have, you know, I have a gold version, and then over here there's silver, but we'll get to that in a little bit. And then the last one in this grouping of similar hallmarks are this pair. You can see it says Chanel, and then it has wood inlay there. And then the hallmark on this one, again, whew, same thing. Do you see how it says Chanel? Alrighty. Now, you can Google, very easily Google, Chanel date codes, history of Chanel date codes, and it'll explain to you, the Google search should come up with some hits that will explain which each of the hallmarks, what time period they represent. If I remember correctly, I want to say this is 70s, 80s. So these 3 earrings would have come out during that period, but I'm not exactly sure. So again, double check. So those have the, you know, little circle hallmark. It's upside down, but you know, they have that. And so now we are going into, I believe these are a little bit later. So 80s, I could be wrong. This could be more 70s, 80s, and this could be 80s. But either way, the hallmark on these earrings is just Chanel. So on the back of each one of these, it just shows Chanel. Oh, you know what I just thought of? When I post this video, I'll post a link on it, or maybe a breakdown of what each of the hallmarks mean. So I guess I could have done better research before here, but I thought I'd remember, just go by memory. So anyhow, these are quilted button earrings. I absolutely love them. They're beautiful. And they're substantial, but they're not too heavy. But I love these earrings, these two, those two. So there you go. And then similarly for these earrings, clover, the elongated pearl, and again, the hallmark, just the word Chanel printed on the back. Just beautiful. And mind you, this does not have a CC on it. It does have, you know, one of the sort of hallmarks of Chanel, the clover. You know, the clover, the camellia, the star. There are certain hallmarks of the brand. But I love these. Absolutely love them. Absolutely love them. Next, this is one of my, you can say, my big mamas. You know, I have a variety of earrings from, you know, more demure to like big and bold. So this is one of my bold babies. And if my research has been done correctly, I believe different versions, yes, different versions of this earring has come out. The earrings look the same, but if you look to the back, the hallmark is different. The version I have is just Chanel is stamped on the back of this. But I've seen them where the Chanel is also stamped on the interior. So it's not opening. I don't want to crack my nail. it's stamped on the interior, so on the back, I've seen that. And I've also seen one where the Chanel is on like the inside down there. So I don't know what that means, but when I first got these earrings, I had never seen a version stamped like this. So I was worried that they weren't, you know, authentic. So I sent them over to, not Real Authenticators. Is it Real Authenticators? I'm not sure. I'll list that too in the comment, in the description. But I looked it up, said, I'm not sure if I got authentic pair, sent it in, and they're like, absolutely, it's authentic. And so I did, once I got that confirmation, I was happy. And then over time, I've done additional just Google searching, and I have found other examples that look like mine. But it sure gave me a lot of peace of mind because those bad boys are about to go back. So I have to return them. This is a fashion file find too. And next, it's one of my first pieces that I've ever gotten. I should say one of my first bold pieces of earring. I don't know what pieces of earring means, child, you know, for my collection. And if you can believe this, I got this, it was before the pandemic, so I want to say 2018, 2019. And I got it before, I believe, like the huge rage into vintage started, or maybe I just lucked out, I don't know. But this was on the Fashion File website, and I bought them, loved them so much, and didn't realize until years later, oops, the backing came off, what a great deal I got. I got these for under $1,000. And if you want to be real, I got them for under $700. So this was the deal of the century, because the cheapest I've seen these are around $2,000. I've seen as much as 3, 4, 5, but they're in pristine condition. These are in great condition, but I would not say pristine at all. But, oh my gosh, the gold is still great on them. It doesn't look like it's been repaired, but that's okay. I mean, it could have been repaired and I just don't have the eye to tell. But definitely one of my best finds. And again, for this version, it just has Chanel on the back. That's the Hallmark. Just beautiful. I love these earrings. Absolutely love them. And yes, I do just sometimes come in here and look at my jewelry. Especially my vintage stuff, but a bunch of them. So anyways, so these are the ones that just have, you know, Chanel on the back of them. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes. So this just has Chanel. So Chanel went from just putting their name on it, or having the hallmark where, you know, it was a circle with the C and the R and their name on it, to their first numeric system. So from about the mid 80s to 1991, 92, Chanel date coded their jewelry with a numbering system of, I believe it's 24 through 29. So if you can tell on this one, it says 26, and it has the same C and the R, but it says 26. Oh yeah, that's me in the background. Happy Juneteenth every day. And each number corresponds to a particular year or years. So the first one, I believe it was 23 or 24. And I believe that's from about 1983, 84. And then the latest one is 29. And I believe that goes up to 1991/92. So since this is 26, that's late 80s, maybe early 90s for this one. And then similarly for these beautiful, simple gripois earrings. This is from collection 25. What do you see? Now this has an oval plate, the number on it. There you go. And of course, you remember these had a circular plate. And this one also had the oval plate, yeah. So, get a better look at these. Absolutely love them. I really like, well, I just realized these are all together. These ones without the CC hallmark are just as beautiful as the ones with them. Even though these are bold earrings, these two, to me they're bold, they can still act subtly, if that makes sense. So I want a bold earring, but I don't want so bold as to be a CC on it. I have these options, you know, and of course this is the subtle. And then the last one in this grouping are these. Love them. Love this pair. Love this pair. I lucked out and found a pair of matching bracelet to this. Oh, that's also on my Instagram stories, I believe. There even may be an unboxing on my YouTube channel, but absolutely love it. And this one, let me get this to turn around. This one from collection 28. 28. Now you see there's a number above it, 2853. I have no idea what that means. But I know with the oval plate with the number 28 on it, I believe that's 1990. I believe. I could be wrong, but I believe. So we want to say this is pre-90s in general, except for up through 1991. So these are my oldest pieces. Oldest vintage pieces. There you go. Yay. Alrighty, now we're going to hit the 90s, fully the 90s. So starting in the early 90s, Chanel moved from using a 2-digit numbering system of 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, or 29 to identify to date code the jewelry. They went to the first incarnation of the date code approach that we know now. So if you can see here, oh, it's upside down. That'll help nobody. Okay. You see here the date code. Shaky fingers. There you go. 1993 C. So beginning in 1992, I believe, instead of just the 2-digit code, Chanel then moved to using a year, 2-digit year, and then a letter. And at this point, I believe the only letters they were using were C for cruise, S for spring, and A for autumn. But again, I will have linked, you know, supporting evidence for what I'm saying in the description. But so from the early 90s forward, you don't necessarily need to guess when the earring, what collection the earring came from. It will flat out tell you on the piece of jewelry if it was 1992, 98, up through today, 24, 25. But the approach to it is different. So nowadays, as we all know, it's not just 3 letters that could be there. There could be a V, which I believe means it's part of the continuous collection. So that particular style of jewelry is offered every year. I've seen a K. I've seen, what other letter have I seen? I've seen a K, I've seen a V. So we have the autumn. Oh, I've seen P. No, yeah, I'm sorry. It's P for spring. So I'm sorry, not S. P for spring. So in the early 90s, it was either A for autumn, P for spring, or C for cruise. I don't know if they were separate for winter and summer. I don't think so at that time. But anyways, I'll link something that'll help, you know, explain the history of the Chanel date code system. So anyways, there's that. It was from 1993. And then these beauties are from also 1993. P, spring. Alrighty. I rarely wear these. Honestly, I usually wear them Valentine's Day every year. I'm not really into the heart motif, but I just love the way they feel on. I love the way they look. I love them. So these are definitely special occasion. You know, Galentine's event, Valentine's Day. I've worn it once during our wedding anniversary. So yeah, I hardly ever wear them, but I absolutely love them. And then next, I have an interesting pair. So these, I believe these are considered clovers or clover foil, something like that. So these earrings, I'm experiencing a bit of tarnishing, if you can see there. Do you see there's little sparkles throughout it? So I don't know if I'm gonna get them electroplated with the 24 karat gold again, or if there's something else I can do. So I need to look into that. But I love these earrings. They're light, but they're substantial looking, but they're very light. I love it. And so this pair, they have two different stamps. On the back of this one, do you see it just says 2025? Or no, I'm sorry, 2925. But then on the back of this, the pair to it, oh, that's hubby waking up. Oh, he's about to walk in here being loud. Can't do nothing about it though. On the back of this one, do you see it says, I can zoom in on this a little bit more. It reads 93 spring as well. So it's two different stamps on the same pair of earrings. So the only thing I can think of is either I've purchased earrings from two different, like these were sold to me, but they're mismatched, not in obviously design, but this may have been produced one year and this is a different year. Similarly to these, where depending on the year this design was made, the date stamp on the back might be slightly different. That's what I'm wondering here. But either way, they're, what do you call it? Authentic, because it came with the certification of authenticity from, I think it was, oh, that's a really famous one too. And it's usually just, you know, professional resellers use them. I can't remember the name of it, but it's not a service that usually just an individual can go to and use. So the word crypto keeps coming in my mind, but that is not it. All right, let me quit talking. Oh, it's already been 23 minutes. Oh yeah, we're getting some sound effects from hubby. Sorry about that, y'all. I mean, it just, you know, this is life. This is real life. He's waking up. He works the night shift, so he's waking up. It's about 11:30. He'll get his day started, and then he'll go to work later on this afternoon. So, okay, so this is in the 93. And then we come up here to these beauties. And make sure this isn't upside down. This is, again, oval Hallmark. It's going to show. Well, it might not. Huh. Oh, it might not. You're not going to cooperate? Oh, let me zoom. There we go. And do you see this says 95p? Does that say 95 or 96? Or 98, child. That says 98. Oh, I'm blind. Ah, but do you see? That's the back. That's the front. And this is supposed to be turquoise. Whether or not it really is, I don't know. But, child, I might need to shut this door. Because I ain't never heard him make this much noise waking up. Well, maybe that's not true, but not that I can remember. And then again, another pair. This is 95. Beautiful. Beautiful. And then we'll go to this pair. And again, I think this is, let's see here, 96 spring. As you can tell, I seem to have a, I guess, a leaning towards the jewelry pieces from the spring collection. Ah, there you go. And these I just got last year from the Clothing Catalyst. No, I got these in December 23. December 23. And then this one, 97p. And this one is interesting because there's no plate. You know, all the other ones, there is a separate plate and then that on there. So I'm wondering if this is when they started doing it just directly on the piece instead of on a plate on top of the piece of jewelry. Yeah, this is my phone, y'all. Like I said, low tech. Everything's low tech over here. Oh my God. I don't know. I need to shut the door or something. Let's see. Oh my goodness. Hopefully all of that's not coming in. Jeez Louise. You know, you just don't realize that this is him every morning, but I just didn't realize how wild it is until I think someone else can hear it. So anyhow, these are pretty. They just remind me of like these sweet tarts. Absolutely love them. And then again, let's see here. This one, back to the nameplate. So this one's 97. Yeah, 97p. I really do like spring collection, huh? My goodness. There's a necklace on fashion, the Real World right now. I'm waiting for it to get to a better price. And I might pick up the matching necklace to this. It's a pendant necklace, but I'm not paying $1,400 for it. Let me just tell you that right now. And here is the last but not least. These are so substantial feeling. I love them. I absolutely love these earrings. They're so good. And these are from, let's see here. Oh, got an autumn one finally. What does that say? 97A. There we go. So that's pretty far. I mean, that's, to me, this design just seems like it's older, but this is from late 90s. And there you go. So this is my entire vintage Chanel earrings collection. Now I have other stuff over here, but this is everything from my Chanel vintage earrings collection. Yay! All right, we almost had 30 minutes, y'all. See, I can just talk about my jewelry all the time. I love it. Alrighty then. Well, I will see y'all next time, and I'm gonna go make sure my husband's still alive because all that stuff he was doing. Until next time. Bye.